Now we can start the Android app development. Open Android Studio and start a new Android Studio project. Specify your application name. I name it as Calories app. Select an MD activity. There is nothing to change here. And click Finish. Here the project is created. So first here I am going to add the internet permission for the application. So open Android manifest.xml. Here specify the internet permission. Now for this application we need a number of dependencies. So these are the dependencies needed for our Android application. So we need dependency for using recycler view. We need dependency for using card view. Here is the dependency for using Retrofit, and here is the dependency for using Retrofit JSON converter. And finally, here is the dependency for using Glide image loading library. So these are the dependencies needed for the Android project. So copy all these dependencies. Now go to Android Studio. Open Gradle script file, open module level Gradle file, and add all the dependencies inside the dependency section. So now sync project. Okay, now the project sync finishes. So first we can set up the layout for the application. So go to activity main.xml. Here we need to place two buttons. Here I place two buttons inside activity main.xml. So here is the XML file. Here is the first button with onClick method get fruits, and here is the second button with onClick method get vegetables. So now we need to implement these two methods, get fruits and get vegetables, inside main activity.java. So here I implement the first method. Now I'm going to implement the second method. So here I implement the two methods, get fruits and get vegetables, inside main activity.java. So for display the fruits or vegetable informations, we need another activity with a recycler view. So here I am going to create another activity. Create an MD activity. I name it as list activity. Now go to main activity.java. So if the user clicks any of these buttons, we have it to start the list activity. So first here create some indent object. Now specify the target activity class name. Here it is list activity. Now attach some data to the indent object. So use this method, put extras, specify the key for the value. I name it as type. Now here the value is fruit. Now start the activity and pass the indent. The same thing on the second button. The only change here, it is vegetables. So when user click any of these button, we start the second activity called the list activity. So now we finish the coding with the main activity, so we can close that files, main activity and activity main.xml. Now we need to work with the list activity.java and activity list.xml. So here in this layout file, we have to place a recycler view. So inside activity list.xml, here I place a recycler view with ID recycler view. Now go to the application on the emulator. So this is our application. So this is a recycler view. So the recycler view contain a number of card views. Each card view contain an image view and 2 text views. So now we need to create a separate layout file for each of the row on the recycler view. So open a resource folder, right click the layout folder and create a new layout resource file. I name it as raw layout and change the root element into card view. Now in this layout, we have to place an image view and 2 text view. For testing purpose, here I am going to add some sample images to the Android Studio project. I place that image inside the drawable folder. Now here in this layout, we need to place an image view and 2 text view. So here I place all the needed view components for the layout. Here I place an image view and 2 text view. So this is the image available inside the drawable folder. This is only for testing purpose. So here is the layout file. Here is the image view that will display each of the item image with ID img, and here is the text view that display the item name with ID name, and here is the text view that will display the calories value and with ID calories. So this is our UI of the application. So now we need to create a model class for the application. So before going to create the model class, look at the response from server. So this is the response from server. The response is a JSON array that contains a number of JSON objects. So here each JSON object has 3 properties: name, calories and image path. So name and image path are string values and calories is an integer value. So we have to create a model class for receive this information from server. So our model class must contain 3 variables for receive name, calories and image path. So right click the package and create a new Java class. I name it as calories. Create some variables in it. First here I create variable for name. So here name n is small letter and here I use capital letter. So we have to add an annotation for proper mapping. Serialize the name and specify actual name on JSON. So here it is name. Now create the second variable. Second variable is image path. Here I change variable name into image path. If the variable name and JSON properties are same, then there is no need of this annotation. Now specify the third variable. Here the JSON property is calories and here it is a string value, and change variable name into calories. So here now we need getter methods for all these variables. So now I'm going to add the getter methods. Select all these variables. Now we have all the getter methods for all these variables. So this is our model class for receive information from the server. Now we can create an adapter for the recycler view. We have it to display this list of item. So for display this list of item, we need some adapter for the recycler view. So create another Java class with the class name recycler adapter. And this class extends adapter. Here we need to implement some methods, implement all the needed methods. First, here I'm going to create the view holder class. Here I name the class as my view holder, and this class text extends view holder. And this class needs some constructor. Now specify the generic type for the class. Here it is view holder. For this method, the return type is an object of the view holder class. And for this method, the first parameter is an object of view holder class. Here we need some variables. I need a list that contains some object of calories class. I name it as calories. Now I need some context variable. Now here I need a constructor for this class for initializing these variables. This constructor needs two parameters. First one is a list that contain a number of calories class object. I name it as calories. Now the second parameter is a context variable. Now from the constructor we can initialize that variables. Now from the get item count method we can return the size of the list. So calories.size. Now inside the view holder class we have to create some variables. First to create some variables for image view. I name it as img. Now we need some text view variables, name and calories. Now we can initialize these variables from the constructor of that class. First one is image view. I typecast that one into image view. By using this parameter item view, we can call the find view by id method. Here it is img. Now initialize the text views. First one is name. Here it is text view. By using this parameter, we can call the find view by id method. Here it is name. Now we can initialize the second variable. Here it is calories. So here we initialize all the variables from the constructor of that class. Now go to the onCreate view holder method. Here we have to create some variables for view class. Layout inflator dot from parent dot get context. Now call the method inflate. Specify the layout that represents each item on the recycler view. Here the layout file name is raw layout. Second parameter is parent. and last one is a boolean. So now from this method we have to return an object of the view holder class. So new my view holder. So for the view holder class we need some view parameter for the constructor. So pass the view parameter. So now from the onBind view holder method we can bind the value to the view components. So holder dot name dot set text, get the object from the list. So here the object is calories, pass the current position and call the getter method. Here it is get name. Now specify the calories, set the text, calories equal to, now get the information from the model class. So first get the object from the list, get the current position. So here calorie is an integer value, so we have to convert that one into a string value. So integer dot dot string. Now get the value. So calories dot get the object. Now get calories. And finally we can display the image on the image view. So here we are going to use glide for display the image. Pass context, load from image path. So get the image path from the object by using this getter method get image path. Now specify the image view. So this is the adapter for the recycler view. Now we can start the coding for using Retrofit.